avatar. No wonder why you're alone. I let you to go. Oh no, I walk away, but I ain't losing. Oh no, I'm tired of people trying to fool me. 'Cause I learned the price of love. Don't give away any more that easily. I just wanna level up. 'Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. You're the life of the party, I guess. You crave all that attention. Where is everyone when it all ends? Always seems to be the question. I know you like to show it up. It's okay if it's fun, but it's not. 'Cause you talk about yourself too much. And people go away, they're not insane. As you think, oh no, I walk away, but I ain't losing. Oh no, I'm tired of people trying to fool me. 'Cause I learned the price of love. Don't give away any more that easily. I just wanna level up. 'Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. Here you are, you got so much to say. They want me to pay attention, but never ask me if I wanna stay. Word after word, I feel the rising tension, but you wanna open up. Oh, it's okay if it's fun, but it's not. 'Cause I don't really wanna talk. No wonder why you're alone. I let you to go. Oh no.
All right, welcome everyone to day number 2 of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Today, we are going to begin. We're going to be introducing a very special project in one of the largest ones in the DeFi space. It's called Kyber Network. Now, Kyber Network is one of those innovations which, once you start using it, you're going to realize why is it that we never used this that often before. Such is the nature of technology. Anyways, we're really excited to begin. Before we kick off, here we are. Okay, Southeast Asia, welcome. If you are listening in for the first time, you missed yesterday, boy. Okay, really recommend that you rewatch. Okay, the recordings for the first one, because we covered a lot. We covered the basics, okay, of what DeFi is, why DeFi matters. And you got introduced, okay, especially if you're a beginner, you got introduced for the first time to what decentralized financial applications can do. So today, okay, we are covering, okay, Kyber Network. And over the next 3 days, we have 3 more exciting projects which has their own value propositions. And I'm excited for each and every one of them. So really looking forward to those as well. Hi, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm from Bitcoin Malaysia. I'm your moderator for the entire 5 days together. This Southeast Asia DeFi Week is brought to you by a multitude of partners that support this event, and we're really, really grateful for all their support. This is a Southeast Asian effort. Thank you for our friends, okay, all the way from Indonesia, okay, Danny Taniwan from Crypto Watch, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam. Thank you, Blocklime, for making this happen. Ethereum, ETHKL, Access Blockchain Association of Malaysia, Ivan on Tech Academy, CoinGecko, Asia Blockchain Review, TechCryption, Super Crypto News, okay, based in Singapore, Crypto Ticker, all the way in Germany. And last but not least, our friends from the North, okay, Technology for Penang. Combine our mission, okay, for Southeast Asia DeFi Week and why we do this is to help more people to become what we call cryptocurrency citizens by providing you guys a safe place, a neutral place where you can easily learn about cryptocurrencies and decentralized technology. It also helps you, we also want to help you to differentiate between what is real, what is fake, what is legit, what is full of not legit. So that you don't have to waste time, you don't have to waste your your money on something that is not real, and thus you can pay your attention on capturing real opportunities in the space. Part of our mission also is to help people to find remote work and generate an alternative income in this industry. And there is quite really, okay, one of the things, especially right now in this very unique situation, when a lot of people's jobs are at risk, their salaries are at risk, the cryptocurrency industry, the blockchain industry has a lot of opportunity, okay, to find generate a new source of income, and also to find remote work, because very often when you like a particular project, they work in global teams, they work in remote teams. So what you need to do is basically educate yourself and know what is real, what is fake, so that you can capture these opportunities. Last but not least, by helping you guys to filter and become more mature in the space, Southeast Asia then becomes a very attractive destination to bring reputable, well-funded blockchain projects to come and find local user adopters, fans, and champions. So do stay to the end, okay? At the end of this session, we are giving away a very unique proof of attendance token, where and today, okay, we have a special design, okay, for Kyber Network, which you can be deposited, okay, into your cryptocurrency wallet of choice. Now, what are these proof of attendance tokens? These are kind of like certificate of attendance, except that unlike a paper certificate where you easily lose it and they can get destroyed, or you basically don't carry around with you. Whereas this is so much more cooler. They are printed in a limited quantity and can be used as cryptographic proof, okay, to say that you have attended this course and this is what you learned. This is what you have gained, okay, by in this 2-hour session. You learn about Kyber Network for the first time, and this is your cryptographic proof, timestamped on the blockchain. These tokens, okay, if you collect it, they might be able to be used as a proof so that you can claim and redeem rewards for future events. This is something that can happen, and other projects have done it before, like, for example, DEF CON and ETH Denver, which is this developer conference where they have it annually. And every time, okay, the more tokens that you collect and you can prove, then say the next DEF CON that's going to be happen next year in what's the place in Colombia called? Bogota. So the next DEF CON is happening in 2021 in Bogota. If you attend it and if you can show that you have attended previous DEF CON 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, there's a lot of extra benefits that, or door gifts that you can actually claim at the point of entry. So this is like what you can actually use for proof of attendance tokens. It's really fun to collect. And although transferable, please don't. Okay, it's a game theoretic thing. Now, we started giving out these proof of attendance tokens yesterday for day 1. And a lot of yesterday we did recommend, okay, using the Argent wallet, but we received, okay, a lot of people, they say that the Argent wallet, okay, does not support collectibles tokens for the Android users. So iPhone users, no problem. So so what should you use? Okay, I'd like to clarify, okay, that the reason why we recommended the Argent wallet for the Southeast Asia DeFi week is because throughout the week, we are going to be talking about a wide range of DeFi applications, and Argent is a wallet specifically designed to give you direct access to all these DeFi applications, like for example, pool together that you can immediately use from the wallet itself. So, how many of you, okay, got the are eligible, okay, and are going to receive 5 DAI from the giveaway yesterday by Maker? So, if you deposit this 5 DAI, okay, into the Argent wallet, for example, you can immediately use that 5 DAI and you say, for example, pull together directly from the wallet. However, thanks to your feedback, we realized that currently they don't support collectibles for both the iPhone and the Android. They only support it for the iPhone for now. And the Android one will only come later next month. Okay. Now, if you have used the Argent wallet to claim the the proof of attendance token on this wallet, it does not mean that you did not receive it. It's just that you cannot see it. So just something, okay, for you to note for those who actually use the Argent wallet to claim it using an Android phone and they do not see it. So currently when you see, let me take out a laser pointer. So currently, if let's say, for example, this screenshot here, this is for the Apple users. However, the Android users will not be able to see yet. So for the purpose of these proof of attendance tokens, last night, me and my team, we experimented with it all, and we found that the Trust Wallet is the easiest to claim these proof of attendance tokens because they support both the iPhone and the Android user. However, the difference between the Argent wallet is that it does not have those features, okay, like what the Argent wallet does, which is giving you access to the DeFi apps. So these are the pros and cons. Now, so for those who have not claimed the day one proof of attendance token, you still have a window. Okay, the cutoff time is 6 p.m. today. So if you want to claim, okay, the day one proof of attendance token, please scan this QR code. Okay, it will take you to a feedback form for day one. Fill in the feedback. Let us know how you think, and then you can be eligible to claim the proof of attendance token. Now, quick eligibility notice. We received some people who fill up the form, but we are not able to send you guys, okay, the token because you did not do these following things. So Gary, Hadip, Chanel, Ho Yen Lai, Juan, Haro, V2, and Ro. Okay, please scan, okay, this QR code to get in touch with us so that we can help you to basically claim the thing. Also, okay, for those who claim the 5 DAI as well, okay, we will give you an update later as well, okay, on the status of that. Now, I'd like to give a quick demonstration, okay, on how to claim your proof of attendance token. It's really, really easy. Okay, so example of today, okay, if let's say today you, let me share the screen. Let me share a different screen. Where's the, right. Okay, so say for example, all right, you use the Trust Wallet. Let me log in. Okay, so in the Trust Wallet, sorry. All right, in the Trust Wallet, you will have an Ethereum address. Copy the Ethereum address and go to, you'll be sent, okay, the link, the custom link, and paste it, okay, your address into the link form and claim your POP token. All right. So then you will receive, okay, this wallet connect address, which then you can use the go to your Trust wallet, back to your Trust wallet, under Wallet Connect. So if you go to your settings, you will see Wallet Connect under Preferences, this one here. Okay, it'll give you you open the QR code scanner, scan that code, and that's how you can connect, and then the POP token would be sent to you. All right, and then what will happen is that within 10 minutes, you would receive within 10 minutes under collectibles, you would receive, okay, your POP token, and this is the one for yesterday. All right, so it's as simple as that. Okay, let me now change the screen and share back. All right, so here are a few notes, okay, about claiming your POP token. Now, the POP token is no longer completely free. You need to pay the gas fees in order to claim it. So you would need some Ethereum tokens. If you need help, okay, on getting some Ether, do join the Telegram group at the end of the, we have a Telegram group to support those beginners. We'll share that at the end of the session. Currently, the gas fees are abnormally high, right? So we recommend that you don't claim it right now. But what you can do is that when you receive your custom links to claim your token, you can book your token first by doing what I just demonstrated to you, which is paste your Ethereum address into the link provided, and then choose to connect your wallet and pay your gas fee at a later time, okay, when the gas fees are much cheaper. The gas fees right now are really, really very, very high right now because there's a lot of activity happening in Ethereum. Which brings us, okay, a little bit, okay, to what I think that a lot of you after the session yesterday, you guys text message me about, you asked a lot of questions, like, for example, what is Ethereum? And I think that before we go into today's topic, let's address that a little bit. Let's take a step back and ask ourselves the question, what is Ethereum in the first place? So the most simplest way that I can explain what Ethereum is to the beginner is to imagine, okay, that Ethereum is kind of like Apple. So to a lot of people, Ethereum is this, it's just a cryptocurrency. That's not true. Yes, Ethereum has a cryptocurrency, but what Ethereum is building is so much more. Ethereum is building what we call a decentralized world computer, where everybody can write computer programs and then record it on the a shared immutable ledger, where you basically a lot of people cannot cheat. So because this so just like what's that Apple. I use the analogy of Apple because if you remember the late Steve Jobs, when he founded the iPhone for the first time, he needed a lot of people to use the iPhone. And in order for people to find the iPhone useful, he created what we call the App Store. And then back then in 2009, he launched a $100 million US fund, and he invited developers from all over the world to develop applications like the Angry Birds and etc. On the App Store. I view Ethereum as the same thing. Ethereum did the same thing. They raised a huge sum of money, I think around like 160 million US dollars back in 2016. And then they invited the entire world's community, anyone throughout the world, to develop decentralized applications on the Ethereum blockchain. And this created, this massive amount of attracted people from all over the world to write computer codes, write computer programs, okay, on the Ethereum network. As a result, today, Ethereum has a crisis, and that crisis is kind of like a different kind of crisis than what we then what the thing is that while a lot of crises, okay, that things are going down, the crisis that Ethereum is facing is that too many people want to use Ethereum, and thus they are having a scaling issue right now. And it's particularly true, especially right now when the price of Ethereum keeps going up. Even more so, okay, a lot of people want to transact on the Ethereum blockchain network. So this brings about, okay, a couple of things that you need to understand about, because this is a shared computer, shared by the entire world. And the Ethereum blockchain can only handle 1.2 million transactions a day. Thus, those who are willing to pay higher gas fees will have their transactions processed first. So whenever you want to use, okay, you want to execute a transaction on the Ethereum network, you can do that. And you can choose to set, okay, you can choose to pay a lower gas fee. However, then it just will continually to be in queue. Okay, so your request will be in, it will be processed, but the ones that who are willing to pay higher gas fees will always be prioritized first. And one of the biggest areas that people are willing and incentivized to pay higher gas fees is when they understand uh, decentralized finance, and they want, okay, to see their transactions go through in DeFi. So what does this mean? This means that Ethereum 2.0 can't come sooner enough. Ethereum 2.0 is the transition between Ethereum's current way of coming to consensus, moving from what we call a consensus model called proof of work into proof of stake, which then will allow more transactions per day. So we can't, okay, wait. Everybody in the Ethereum ecosystem is waiting, but that doesn't stop us, okay, from what's that? Because we are enjoying the what's that? The benefits. Again, coming back, only when something is useful, then people will see value, okay, in Ethereum. Another disclaimer today: we are not going to talk about price speculation. I think the speakers will agree as well that they are not going to cover that as well. Today, the whole purpose of Southeast Asia DeFi Week is so that, to give an opportunity to more people in Southeast Asia to understand why are certain things useful, who is building what. And today we get to learn about Kyber Network. And with me today, I don't have just one speaker. I have very lucky to have three speakers with us today. They are Bo, Shay, and Sunny from Kyber Network. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi guys, thanks for having us today.
Would you like to begin by giving a quick introduction of yourselves? What do you do, okay, in Kyber Network? Starting with Bo.
Hi everyone, my name is Bo. I work closely with this Sunny Shane, the other speaker today. I do marketing for Kyber almost been 2 years, and originally from Korean working in Singapore. Nice
All right.
meeting you.
Shane?
Hi everyone. So we have a pretty diverse team here at Kyber. Bo is from Korea, I'm from Singapore, Sunny is from India. So similar to Bo, I've been with Kyber close to 2 years now, and I also work in the marketing and comms department. Happy to share with you guys a little bit more about what Kyber is about and how you can use Kyber today. Sunny?
Okay. What about Sunny?
Hi everyone, I am Sunny, and as Bo and Shin told before, like I am from India, working in Singapore. So we have pretty good diversity in Kyber. So what I do at Kyber, I am a head of product at Kyber. I specifically manage Kyber Swap, which is a platform which is built on top of Kyber Network technology. I would be later demonstrating how to use Kyber Swap and why it is better than other exchanges. So stay tuned. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we're excited, okay, to learn about Kyber Network. Who is starting first? All right, it's Bo. Okay, so I'm going to load up Bo's screen right now. Okay, and Bo, take it away. Share with us Kyber Network. Everyone is excited.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Greeting from Singapore. Hopefully this session is useful for you to understand about decentralized liquidity as well Kyber Network. So Kyber Network, we're aimed to power the decentralized liquidity for decentralized finance. I know it sounds very mouthful and complicated, but don't worry. I'm going to break down and explain in this simple terms. So first, decentralized finance. I guess everyone now is familiar with this term DeFi now, after hearing so many times. Just giving you one summary of the DeFi. DeFi is the revolutionary system of financial service that built on open public blockchains and smart contracts. In our talks, we're specifically going to talk about the DeFi ecosystem operating on the Ethereum, because Kyber, we are fully operating on the Ethereum. Next term, decentralized liquidity. So this term liquidity, we hear here and there, but like sometimes it's a bit ambiguous. So giving you a simple explanation, the liquidity is the ability to easily exchange, for buyer and seller to easily exchange the asset in the market price. So this liquidity is very, very important for market to function properly. With that, it's easy to assume that this decentralized finance apps also need liquidity. But the different thing to other market is this DeFi apps need liquidity that operating on the blockchain. So this decentralized liquidity is transparent and verifiable. Because of this property, is very easy for that to access or compensable. So the decentralized liquidity sounds okay, straightforward, simple, but we see this problem. The problem is that the current decentralized liquidity is very scattered. So for developers and devs, it's quite hard to find the liquidity sources that providing the best rate when they want to do the token swap. Or sometimes it's even hard to find it's enough decentralized liquidity from the one liquidity sources. That's why Kyber was created. So Kyber, we as the on-chain liquidity protocol, we aggregate all these diverse liquidity sources that exist on the Ethereum blockchain to enable the token swaps, token exchange in any application. Still sounds a bit complicated. Let's see this image. It might be easy to visualize it. So here we see various different type of the liquidity sources. Name a few: Uniswap, Kyber Reserves, and Oasis, etc. So Kyber in the center, what we do is we aggregate all these liquidity sources and provide the best rate to the project that integrate Kyber. Giving you a simple example, you can just imagine this liquid sources as a different cafe selling same pack of the chocolate chips. Let's say Uniswap selling the chocolate chip for $1. Kyber, we sell it at 50 cents. In this case, you definitely want to go to Kyber Cafe to buy the chocolate chips, right? But it's not feasible or take a lot of time to check out, visiting all these cafe and check out the price of the chocolate chips. But with the Kyber, you don't have to worry about it, because we're the one we're the one check all these different price of the chips and giving you the best rate, and you give us back the amount, in this scenario 50 cents, and we sending this 50 cents back to these liquidity sources. So there is many different way, almost unlimited use cases to use Kyber technology, but we list down the major 6 use cases here. So I'm gonna show you the few example. The first one is the Ethereum wallet. We're just talking about the Origin Trust wallet. Most of all these popular Ethereum wallet, including my wallet as well, they integrate Kyber to enable So their wallet user can convert token A to B instantly without leaving the app based on the market situation. The second use cases is the e-commerce. We call it vendors or dApps. So some of the dApps, you need to hold a certain token to buy the product or use this service. Here I put the Axie Infinity, the Ethereum-based game. So to buy this game item, you need to have the DAI stablecoin. But it's gonna be annoying for the user who's holding Ethereum or other ERC20 tokens, right? But luckily, this Axie team, they integrate Kyber, so users can pay any ERC20 tokens while the project receive in their preferred token DAI. This one is the DeFi use cases. So I put here index funds platform. Maybe this term might be familiar for the people who's like familiar in this finance industry. But name the partners that integrate Kyber is Melonport. So they integrate Kyber to balance this user token portfolio instantly. So far, it's amazing to see over 100 the project wallet already using Kyber for different liquidity needs. And through this 100 plus integration, we have facilitated over 1 billion worth of the volume through the 990,000 trade. And this transaction was fully on the blockchain. So currently there is over 45 liquidity provider, we call it reserves. They're providing liquidity for the 80 plus tokens. We're very happy and honored to see this reputable project, CoinGecko and then Binance published a report and mentioned Kyber as the most used project in DeFi and highest brand awareness among DEX protocol. So my session, here, I'll take it over to Shane.
All right, let's do a little bit of a takeaway session right now. Okay, so I managed to write down. Okay, I'm listening in as well. Okay, and I managed to capture a few things. Okay, which I think would help the audience listening in to understand a little bit better. Let me share my screen. Are you using okay? So let's cover some takeaways. All right, and correct me if I get it wrong. Okay, currently there are hundreds of actively used digital tokens in the space, and because of that, what actually Kyber does, it exists to solve a liquidity problem when you deal with so many tokens. It's kind of like it's kind of like today, in the cryptocurrency space, when it's kind of like dealing with different countries and multiple currencies, at the same time. And every time, let's say, for example, if I decided, to go to, say, for example, if I wanted to go into this ecosystem and I wanted to use the products and services in this theme park, then I need to go get their tokens. I need to actually have a point where I can get access to those tokens. And then there's always this liquidity issue. Who is providing the liquidity? Who's providing the supply? Or who's so Kyber exists, by very efficiently, aggregating all the liquidity sources, the liquidity pools, who has these tokens, and help us to find in a very efficient manner which one is offering the best price, so that we can immediately get the tokens, or we can liquidate the tokens, when we need it. And currently, hundreds of apps are using Kyber today, and Kyber has a very impressive track record that you have processed over 1 billion value of transactions. So far, is this correct as a takeaway?
Perfect, Jason. So just to add on, I think Bo earlier had a very good analogy of using, imagining where many different cafes selling the same chocolate chip cookies and
Okay.
at different prices, right?
Mm.
Another good analogy that I always use at conferences is the money changer example. So similar to what you explained about different currencies, when people in Malaysia or Singapore, you want to go overseas for a holiday, you probably need to go to your a neighborhood money changer or a money changer at an airport to change your local currency to a different currency. And different money changers, different shops have different prices
Mm.
based on their liquidity, based on the inventory that they have at the shop. So
Mm.
similarly, on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, there are many different sources of liquidity, and Kyber is helping to aggregate all these different sources together, find the best rate for you. So as a user, you just need to use Kyber, or as a dev, you just need to integrate Kyber, and you gain access to the best rates on chain. So
Okay.
very good, Jason.
Then I have a question for you. Okay, so if you describe yourself as a money changer, then you are, for example, with Binance.
So unlike centralized exchanges, what we call centralized exchanges like Binance, or another famous example would be Coinbase in Southeast Asia. I think many of you have heard of CoinHako. I used it myself as well when I first started. Very easy to use. These exchanges, when you use them, you are basically trusting the infrastructure and the technology and the service of these exchanges. So obviously these are reputable companies, and some of the money might be insured, but there is a risk. There's always a risk that hackers might compromise the service of these centralized exchanges, and they can steal whatever cryptocurrencies that are available. And depending on the company, they may or may not return you your money. So the most famous hack, I would say, in the history of cryptocurrencies would be the Mt. Gox hack. So Mt. Gox was a centralized exchange facilitating the exchange of Bitcoin and other currencies. And when it was hacked, a lot of people until today, I personally have friends who are still trying to claim back the money that was lost. So unlike these centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges or decentralized exchange protocols like Kyber, the transactions ideally are fully on the blockchain, meaning at no point is your money being held by a custodian, by a company, and no information is stored on a central server that if it gets destroyed or compromised will cause the loss of funds. So all the trades that happen on Kyber, and I'll explain more in my slides, are performed entirely on the Ethereum blockchain, and at no point in time does Kyber actually has control over your funds.
All right. Okay. So basically, the difference is that one is a centralized platform, and one is a decentralized platform. One is a platform which is not operated by humans, but completely by computer code.
Yes.
And smart contracts. Great. We're excited to actually see what actually happens and how do people participate.
Cool. I think I will share my slides. Can you see my screen?
Let me see. Yes, you're using Bo's computer, right?
Oh no, sorry. I'm using
Bo's
Bo's
computer. All right, yes.
Yeah,
We can see your screen.
Yeah, great. So just to continue where she left off, Kyber supports obviously hundreds and thousands of different Ethereum tokens at the moment, but we support 80 of the most popular ones, and we are regularly increasing the number of tokens in our repertoire. And I just wanted to share
about Kyber's unique architecture and the reasons why we have been able to be the most used and integrated DeFi protocol today. So as I mentioned earlier, one very important point to highlight is that we are fully on-chain. So all the trades that happen on Kyber are through the Ethereum blockchain. And there are certain decentralized exchanges or platforms that are non-custodial, meaning they don't hold users' funds, but they may not be fully operating on the Ethereum blockchain. So for Kyber, being fully on-chain lends us a lot of benefits. One is that it's fully transparent and verifiable. Whatever price you see, whatever rate you get is definitely verifiable and on the blockchain. And what you see is what you get. Another benefit of being fully on-chain is that for applications that use the blockchain, they can integrate with us in a very fast and simple manner, a gas-efficient manner. They don't need to interact with any off-chain components. So what we like to say to developers, smart contracts only talk to smart contracts. And anything that happens on the blockchain, any apps that use the blockchain, they need liquidity that is present on the blockchain or on-chain liquidity. Thirdly, we, as Bo described earlier, we actually connect and aggregate different on-chain liquidity sources and give you the best rate available. And lastly, we allow the contribution of this liquidity in a very seamless manner. Anybody that wants to contribute liquidity to Kyber, we have different ways to do it. And just to dive a little bit deeper into this, we call liquidity providers, or people who actually put up tokens for exchange in the Kyber network, we call them reserves. So these are similar to how in real life, when there's a money changer, they need different countries' currencies in their safe deposit box in their shop, for example. Or for cafes that are selling chocolate chip cookies, they might need different brands of different chocolate chip cookies in their store at any point in time. So for Kyber, similarly, we actually store on the smart contracts different cryptocurrencies on Ethereum and provide liquidity for all of them. But how do people actually contribute liquidity? So the way Kyber is designed allows for a very diverse network of liquidity sources or reserves. For token teams that did an ICO, for those familiar with the ICO boom in 2017, and even those projects that are doing IEOs now on exchanges, when they have their own native project token, tokens from their own ecosystem, they need liquidity for it. They need people to use their token in different applications. So for tokens teams that want to contribute liquidity to Kyber, we have what we call an automated price reserve. This allows them to easily contribute liquidity in an automated way. There's an algorithm that actually helps market make their tokens, and the prices will change accordingly. So it's a very seamless and easy way for token teams or even individual whales to contribute liquidity and earn a profit from it. But for professional market makers, they need more flexibility, more customization, more advanced tools. And they are not that concerned about automation, but they're more concerned about managing their risk, hedging their different positions. So for people in the traditional banking sector, they might be more accustomed to such tools, and we also provide such infrastructure for them. And lastly, for liquidity providers, they are not directly contributing tokens to Kyber. For example, Uniswap pools or Oasis pools or Bangkok pools, we are able to actually connect and pool liquidity from these on-chain sources as well. So Kyber, basically, in summary, we are able to allow liquidity providers to contribute liquidity to deposit tokens in a way that fits their needs. And even for liquidity providers that are not directly on Kyber, we can pool liquidity from them. So Yeah, this is just a simple graphic to show, to just illustrate that all the liquidity, all the different tokens that we hold on the smart contracts can be taken by any user or any application that actually connects to Kyber.
Hmm.
Any questions so far, Jason?
So, what I got from you is that anyone can contribute liquidity. An individual can contribute liquidity. A professional market maker can also contribute liquidity. If you are a person who wants to contribute liquidity, there's the automated price reserve. If you are a professional market maker, okay, which you are more accustomed to certain tools, okay, then you can use the Fed price reserve. And there's can you explain elaborate a little bit about bridge reserves? Okay, you said that you can pull liquidity from external chains. Does that mean that tokens outside the Ethereum network?
Actually not external chains, but more external liquidity providers that are not on they're not directly contributing tokens to Kyber. So
Okay, got it.
will be like Uniswap, Bancor, Oasis Trade. So these other on-chain providers, they have their own pool of liquidity. So they may have at times more tokens available and more variety of tokens available than what Kyber has at times, right? But any token that we don't possess on our own reserves, we can pull it from them as well. If tokens there happen to be at a better rate at a point in time for the amount, we can also provide that good rate to whoever connects to Kyber. So it's, like for those of you who like Malaysians and Singaporeans, we love to travel. We go to Skyscanner or Kayak, even like a Airbnb, right? You see different apartments or flights, hotels at different prices. We see it all in one interface, right? So for Kyber, similarly for developers and dApps that connect with us, we provide that single on-chain interface for them to get the best rate for different tokens. So it's a similar concept. So technically, in the future, and I'll talk a little bit more about cross-chain later, our protocol allows the aggregation of different cross-chain liquidity as well. But for now, we are fully focusing on Ethereum because this is where, from what we observed, Ethereum is where most of the developers and development for dApps is currently on. And yeah, so we are focusing our efforts on Ethereum at the moment.
I think a lot of people are actually interested in because I think a lot of people here are quite new to market making. So can you demonstrate, okay, how does an individual participate in the automated price reserve and contribute liquidity, and what are the benefits of that?
So currently, I would say you need a certain amount of capital in order to contribute. So for individual token holders, those that are contributing liquidity on Kyber at the moment tend to be whales, right? Those with a little bit more capital at hand. Obviously, over time, we're trying to decentralize and make the process much more easier for anybody to contribute. But I would say the easiest way for you or I or any retail user with a small amount of tokens to market make at the moment, for those tokens, if you contribute to a liquidity pool on Uniswap, technically also pull the liquidity from there as well. Yeah, but in the future, we are also we might have our own interface to allow that liquidity contribution directly to Kyber. But for now, the automated reserve to set it up and to have a decent price for your tokens, a certain amount of capital is needed. But if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us. We will be happy to talk to you and to set up the reserve based on your needs, as long as the requirements are fulfilled.
Okay. in terms of the questions from the crowd, I think we are receiving more, how do I say, questions about, like more statements like, oh, I love using Kyber already. Let's see. One person asked, okay, how big is the team, okay, in Kyber right now?
So globally, we have about, I would say, 40 plus people, pretty distributed. Even in the Singapore office, as you can see from today's call, both from Korea, I'm from Singapore, Sunny from India. We have people in Singapore office who are from Philippines. We used to have a Malaysian, TN. I think you might know him as well.
Mhm.
And we have people in Cyprus, Greece, Israel, Japan. And most of our developers are actually in Vietnam because two of our co-founders are Vietnamese, Loy and Victor.
Okay. All right.
So, but overall, about 40 plus, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Okay, keep the questions coming in, guys. Okay, I think that that's all the questions that we have thus far. Okay. From the thing. Do you have any like demonstration? Okay, like that you can show to the audience. Okay, how Kyber actually works.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we will have a demonstration later for
Mhm.
Kyber Swap. So I have a few more slides just before that. Let me continue.
Sure.
And then when more questions come in, you can ask me later. So I've talked about how, both have shared about how Kyber actually aggregates different liquidity for decentralized token exchange in different applications. And I covered about some of Kyber's unique attributes, how we are fully on chain and how that sets us apart from other platforms or protocols. And that is why we are able to actually amass a whole ecosystem of dApps, over 100 dApps today that uses. But what's next, right? So right now, Kyber, a lot of Kyber's decision making and initiatives are actually driven by team decisions. So what we want to do in the future, over time, through an incremental process, and what we call progressive decentralization, we want to empower our community members to have more say, a greater voice in how Kyber actually charts its future. How Kyber, what kind of improvements, be it technical or be it in terms of marketing, we want to use moving forward, and we want our users, our dApps that users, or reserves that provide liquidity for us, and generally the whole Kyber and KNC community to have more power in and a voice in how Kyber is will progress. So we have a major protocol upgrade called Catalyst coming up. This would be sometime around the end of Q2, which is we are approaching the end of Q2 already. So with this technical upgrade comes a new token model. As I mentioned earlier, we want more important decision making to be done through our Kyber decentralized autonomous organization. And I'll describe it more later. And it will come with a new staking mechanism for KNC holders, improvements to liquidity contribution, as well as improvements to any application that uses our technology. So first of all, for our Kyber DAO, the simple explanation would be to allow anyone to stake our KNC tokens, vote on important decisions and proposals, and in return for their efforts, in return for helping to decide Kyber's future, they gain rewards in the Ethereum's native currency ETH.
Wow.
And this ETH is actually collected from network fees. And how do these network fees come about? They are actually through every trade that happens across the network. So if, let's say, a user trades Ether for DAI, a certain percentage of the trade goes towards network fees. And whoever contributes to Kyber's success as a KNC staker and voter, they gain a share from these network fees. So similar to how a money changer would not give you the exact rate, right? When you convert a Singaporean dollar to US dollar, they will eat a little bit of the exchange rate. And Kyber also has a cut from each trade. So from what we understand in the DeFi space, at least among the popular DeFi protocols, KNC token, the Kyber Network Crystal token, is the first governance staking token, which is both deflationary because we have a burning mechanism as well as a staking token where staking rewards are purely determined by the volume and of trades that happen through the network. So when the DeFi ecosystem grows and the DeFi dApps that use Kyber contributes more more volume to the network, the Kyber network grows as well, and whoever that helps contribute to Kyber's success will earn a share from those network fees. Just a very short video here, because I understand the Kyber DAO concept might be confusing. Oh, sorry. It's just a 1-minute video.
With over $500 million traded and close to 100 dApp integrations, Kyber is the leading liquidity protocol that connects decentralized liquidity for decentralized finance. The Catalyst protocol upgrade will launch the Kyber DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization comprising a community of KNC holders. Kyber DAO enables all KNC holders to play an active role in the growth of Kyber Network by voting and deciding on key parameters. By participating in Kyber's governance, KNC holders earn staking rewards in Ether. Here's a simple example. As the DeFi ecosystem grows, more network fees are collected from trades made through Kyber. Kyber DAO participants decide on the allocation of network fees that will be burned, given to top-performing reserves, or distributed as staking rewards. Assuming a 10-10-80 ratio, 80% of the network fees will be distributed to stakers in proportion to the amount of KNC staked. More KNC staked means more voting power and rewards if you vote. Hope you now have a taste of how Kyber DAO and KNC staking work. Get ready to stake, vote.
Yeah, so just a simple video explanation. Later, we have more videos to share that really explains Kyber in a very easily comprehensible manner. So still talking about the Catalyst protocol upgrade that's coming soon. For reserves on Kyber, what we call market makers or liquidity providers, we intend to further enhance the liquidity that through reserve optimization. So we will be giving rebates to selected reserves that actually contribute a lot of volume to the network. That will incentivize them, more liquidity providers, to actually deposit tokens and set up a reserve to the network. And currently, they need to hold KNC tokens in order to operate, something through somewhat like a subscription model. But I understand that might pose some friction for them. So we are actually removing the need to hold KNC in order to for liquidity providers to operate. And lastly, we are working with a few professional on-chain market makers to set up reserves on Kyber, to use our Fed price reserve and to complement our other reserve types and bring more liquidity to the whole DeFi space. So currently in the decentralized finance space, automated liquidity provision is the most popular because, of course, it's automated, it's easy to maintain. But from our perspective, for the decentralized finance space to really grow, and in order to have more liquidity in the space and to match even centralized exchanges, there needs to be more manual or professional on-chain market making. I think Mona from Med will be talking more about this in her presentation, perhaps over the next few days. And for dApps application, decentralized application, or end users that use Kyber, we are going to allow them to have a custom spread so they can actually create their own business models. They can set a fee on top of the price of the token exchange in their website or the application. If Bitcoin Malaysia decides to support Kyber Network Exchange on your website, or if Facebook decides to allow a token exchange, on their Facebook page directly, we allow these applications to set a fee on top of it. So anybody that trades through you, you can charge them a fee. So or not, up to you.
Cool.
So it's very flexible. And we will to further enhance our liquidity aggregation. Not only do we take the best price from the 40 plus reserves that we currently support, we can actually split the trade between reserves. So reserve A might have the best price, but if part of the trade can come from reserve A, part of the trade can come from reserve B, part of the trade can come from reserve C, we can actually take different amounts and combine them to give you overall better price. And this means, what all these means is that, an application, a business owner, you can just focus on what's important to you, making money, growing your business, expanding your business without being concerned over your liquidity needs on chain. And yeah, so through all these different upgrades with Catalyst and the Kyber DAO, we hope to progressively decentralize the management of the protocol and increase liquidity for the whole DeFi space. And we welcome everyone in the DeFi community and the crypto community to help govern the Kyber protocol together. So far we have been talking a lot about the Ethereum space, and even for the Kyber protocol, we are primarily based on Ethereum. But for your Bitcoin Malaysia community and a lot of the viewers here today, you are probably Bitcoin hodlers, and you're wondering, how can you actually use Bitcoin on Ethereum today? So yesterday, Jocelyn did a very good presentation on how you can actually use WBTC in the maker vaults already. So I'm going to cover a little bit more about that. So Kyber noticed this problem very early, I think early last year or even before that. We noticed that for Bitcoin, the primary use case is as a store of value, holding it like digital gold, and hoping the price appreciates as a hedge against inflation of the US dollar, for example. But we want to allow Bitcoin to be used on the Ethereum blockchain immediately in the whole, the large variety of DeFi dApps that are available today. So what we did with BitGo, REN, and many other Ethereum blockchain ecosystem projects was to initiate the wrapped Bitcoin solution. So this was the first practical approach of using Bitcoin or Ethereum. We acknowledge that it is a custodian model, it's centralized. So the Bitcoin is actually locked with BitGo, a custodian, and the ERC20 version, the Ethereum version of the Bitcoin, is actually minted, and being an Ethereum token, you can use it across any of the applications you can see here in the decentralized exchanges, on the lending platforms, or asset management platforms, just like any other ERC20 token. And when you want to get back your Bitcoin, you can burn the wrapped Bitcoin, and your BitGo will unlock your real Bitcoin out, and you can store it in your Bitcoin wallet address again. So this is the most popular and practical approach currently. As you can see from the chart here, there's more than $40 million US dollars worth of wrapped Bitcoin locked in the Ethereum space right now, more than the Lightning Network on Bitcoin actually. And we think that because this is a very practical approach, the usage of the wrapped Bitcoin will only increase from now. But of course, being a centralized process, we want to make sure that it's very transparent. So if you go to the WBTC.network website, you can see that the token amount the amount of WBTC is always matching the amount of Bitcoin is locked in BitGo's Bitcoin address. And we have a WBTC Decentralized Autonomous Organization that manage this whole process as well. There are other projects that are adopting a more decentralized method. For example, TBDC by Keep. Kyber is also part of their partners network, and the TBDC, along with RAN BTC and PDBTC, are different approaches of having an Ethereum version of Bitcoin on the Ethereum network. So they have different approaches in terms of the technology. I'm not going to delve into very much detail, but in general, it's about locking Bitcoin on smart in either on a smart contract that is secured via staking or via certain nodes, and minting an Ethereum version of Bitcoin on the Ethereum network. And from there, similar to WBTC, you can actually use that Bitcoin anytime. So we actually had the privilege to see a demo from the RAN project recently. You can go to actually ranbridge.io, if I'm not wrong, and you can actually try this out on their beta version right now. We listed PBTC. So PBTC is already live on Kyber. WBTC is also live on Kyber. TBTC is not live yet, but it would be soon. So yeah, in general, Bitcoin can actually be used on an Ethereum network today already. You can have an ERC20 version, Ethereum wrapped version of Bitcoin on the Ethereum network. You can use it across the whole suite of Ethereum dApps that Kyber supports. And to give you a very practical, real life demonstration of how you can actually buy PBTC using different Ethereum tokens, I'm going to hand over the time to Sunny, who will share more about Kyber Swap, a dApp that is using Kyber Network's technology, and talk more about PBTC. So
Cool.
Before I hand over to him, any questions from you, Jason, or from the crowd?
I think that I think that one of the questions that people would want to know, okay, is that so what you're saying, okay, is that WBTC is one example of collateralizing Bitcoin, so that you can actually use and minting these WBTC tokens, so that you can actually get access to decentralized financial DeFi apps on the Ethereum network. And you shared, okay, a couple more, okay, which is very interesting. I've never seen that before. One is RAN BTC, which is a decentralized way of collateralizing Bitcoin, and PBTC, which is also something similar. Is that correct? One is decentralized, one is centralized.
I mean, I would say the one that is clearly centralized using a custodian model is WBTC.
Yeah.
And but there are other projects that are trying to make this whole process more decentralized. I'm not. I mean, these are technical details that I will let the projects themselves explain. You should go to their website to learn more. But they're all reputable projects. They are developing these technologies, and Kyber is closely monitoring all these different cross-chain technologies, so that we are always in the forefront of innovation when it comes to using Bitcoin or Ethereum. For now,
exciting.
Of course, WBTC is the most practical approach, and we already list WBTC and PBTC. For the other types of BTC, we are monitoring them closely, and we might list them in the future. And we are all closely, we are in close discussions with all of these projects.
Okay.
As well.
All right. Okay. Looking forward to your demo.
Cool. So, Sunny, please. I think I need to stop the screen for a bit. Hold on. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna just walk you through about Kyber Swap. So let me share my screen. Um, let me know when you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So what is Kyber Swap? Kyber Swap is an exchange that is built on top of Kyber Network. So whatever Shane and Bo has described today is about Kyber Network. What I'm going to describe now is an application that uses Kyber Network as its backend technology. So Kyber Swap is our in-house product we built in using Kyber Network on top of Kyber Network. So what it is, it's an exchange. So what does it do? It helps you to exchange your tokens. So giving you an example, let's say you have Ethereum in your wallet and you want to buy, let's say WBTC. So you can use Kyber Swap and you can swap your Ethereum to WBTC, and that's why the name is Kyber Swap. So it has some key aspect, like there are a lot of exchange that help you to do so. But what makes Kyber Swap so different? So the reason are several, right? So let's go through this list one by one. The first one is fully decentralized and on-chain token swap. Okay, these are two buzz terms. Fully decentralized. What does it mean? Is on a normal exchange, when you want to, let's say, swap your Ethereum to WBTC, on a lot of centralized exchange, you have to deposit your Ethereum to that exchange. You swap that Ethereum to WBTC, and then you have to withdraw that WBTC. So this is a typical process in a centralized exchange. But on Kyber Swap, you don't have to deposit your token to us. You can straight away swap from your wallet from Ethereum to WBTC. So the token never leaves your wallet. So that's why, and that's why we call it, I guess, a fully, that's why the second term, non-custodial, right? So the money never leaves your wallet. So everything happens, the swap from Ethereum to WBTC happens in your wallet. After this slide, I'm going to demonstrate you how exactly it happens. But right now, the meaning of fully decentralized is that you never deposit token to us. So you are always in control of your tokens, right? So
Got it.
that's why we claim that we are very secure, because you're not giving money to us. You're not giving your token to us. You're just using our tech to swap it in your wallet. The second term that we said, we have on-chain token swap. What is on-chain is that the transaction, right, that actually swap your token from Ethereum to WBTC in this example happen on Ethereum blockchain. That means you're given a transaction hash. You can use this hash to see how and what exactly has happened. It's fully transparent. You can see how Kyber Swap has swapped your token inside your wallet. So it's fully transparent, fully auditable, and fully decentralized. The second thing that Kyber Swap offers is a limit order. Limit order is basically a conditional swap. So for example, right now, WBTC around 10,100 US dollar. So let's say I want to, in terms of Ethereum, it is 0.24. So let's say you want to swap your Ethereum to WBTC when the price hit certain point, right? In terms of, let's say, US dollar, you want to swap your Ethereum to WBTC when the price hit, let's say, 11,000 equivalent of Ethereum, right? So you can set a limit order basically on Kyber Swap, saying that in my wallet, you swap my Ethereum to WBTC when the price hit that much. So you don't have to continuously monitor the price. You can just set a limit order. Even for this kind of orders, you don't have to deposit your token to us. It is still non-custodial. So you set the order and you just disconnect from Kyber Swap. Don't have to do anything. When the price happens, everything happens inside your wallet. So it's pretty secure because the money is always in your wallet. The third thing is that we also have for you price alert. Let's say you don't want to swap, but you just want to be notified when, let's say, WBTC reaches 15,000. So you can set up a price alert, and nothing, no money and no token is involved into this. This is just a plain standard feature. We are very focused on mobile. So we have kyberswap.com website. We also have native mobile app for both iOS and Android. Later, I will show you a link on how to download. We have recently launched fiat to crypto on-ramp. Let's say you have a credit card, you are new to crypto, you don't know where to start. The first thing is that you need to buy some cryptocurrency. So now on Kyber Swap, you can use your credit card and you can buy cryptocurrencies, right? you can buy Ethereum straight on Kyber Swap. We are very known for our UI UX. We have a team. We focus a lot to provide or you navigate you through this complex, I would say, blockchain world. We try to simplify it as much as possible, and we are known for that. We recently, to boost up our user experience, right? We recently launched live chat support, right? If any point in time, whether on mobile app or on website, you are stuck, you don't know what does it mean and how to proceed further, there's a chat button, there's someone always available. You can you just have to say hi to us and we will help you out. And all this thing, right? You don't have to do any KYC even to chat with us, right? You don't have to share your detail. We can help you like that. So, without further ado, let me just walk you through on how to use Kyber Swap. So in the demo, right, I have a video, but I want to show you live, how I'm going to swap some Ethereum to WBTC. Or actually, I will swap from Ethereum to PBTC because there's a campaign that we are running right now that allows you. So let me just quickly take you to, okay, so this is the campaign that we are running right now. That's the money that we are distributing to our users. You don't have to do just a simple thing, right? Every time you buy or sell PBTC, which is a Bitcoin-backed ERC20 token on Kyber Swap, you are eligible to win some reward. Total reward that we are giving is 1.515 BTC. That's more than $11,000. Okay, there are total 300 winners right now. As you can see, we are around 92, around 100 participants so far. So there's a lot of stuff. There are 200 more winners that we are looking for. We still have 4 more days to go, so you have time. Let's try. I have not participated in the campaign so far because I was waiting for today. So I'm gonna participate right in front of you and show you like how to participate in the campaign, how to use Kyber Swap, and how all this magic happens. So. Okay, so I'm gonna switch my screen to Kyber Swap. Can you see Kyber Swap screen on my laptop right now?
Wait, yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay, so first thing is that in order to participate in the campaign, we need some details on where to send the reward. That's why we need you to sign in. If you want to use the normal swap functionality, you don't need to sign in. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna first sign in. Okay, so I'm gonna click here. So we offer Twitter, Google, Facebook, Telegram sign in. I'm going to use my Telegram. You can use anything you want. So I am signed in, nothing special. So I'm going to use my MetaMask. So first thing I'm going to do is that I will connect my MetaMask by clicking on this MetaMask link. We support a lot of wallet. If you do not have a wallet, you can create one by clicking Taurus. Taurus is a third party that we have integrated with that allows you to create a wallet using your Gmail. It's pretty simple. Okay, so I'm gonna here use MetaMask. Okay, so I'm connected. I'm connected with my MetaMask. As you can see, I click here to see what do I have. In my wallet, I have 0.29 ETH. Okay, and I can see here. So I'm gonna, from here, I will click, I'm gonna convert this to PBTC.
Right.
Okay. As you can see here, we are showing you, there's a trading contest going on, the one that I showed you just now. But okay, anyway, so let's say I wanna swap 50% of my Ethereum to PBTC. Okay. I can click here on advance to change the gas. Right now we are using standard because since it's a demo, I'm gonna use super fast. So I want my swap or my transaction to happen ASAP. As you can see, I'm not transferring any money. I'm not sending any money to Kyber Swap. So I'm click on swap now. This is a confirmation. We're just showing you what is gonna happen, right? So you're gonna swap this much Ethereum and you're gonna get this much PBTC approximately. And this is the transaction fees. I'm using 70 GUI gas, which is super fast. You can use slow or medium to reduce your gas fees. Okay, I'm gonna click on confirm. Okay,
right.
So here on the MetaMask, I don't know whether you can see. Okay, I'm gonna click on confirm. Okay, so here right now it has broadcasted the transaction that I want to swap. Okay, and I can actually see it. So that's why we say it's fully on chain. So right now the transaction is happening on Ethereum blockchain. I have not sent the money to Kyber Swap. Everything is happening in my wallet. Okay, So as you can see, the money is in my wallet. Okay, so now the transaction is done. Okay, I have successfully swapped my this much Ethereum to this much PBTC. If I want to see the transaction on the blockchain, I can click here. I don't know whether you can see the Ethereum screen. Are
Yes,
you
we
able to
can.
see?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
yeah. So you can see, right? I got the transaction is done, is fully, and this is how the transaction has happened. If you want, you can. Those who are very technical can see the event log, how the exact transaction has happened. I'm not gonna go into detail. So this is what has happened, right? So let me just click on it. So as my wallet, right, I can see PBTC. So you see, right, this is what has happened. So if you're stuck anywhere, this is our live chat. We can, just chat. No, we don't ask for any email. We don't send any marketing stuff later on. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. If you want to use transfer functionality, which is also on blockchain, like I want to just send my money to anyone else, I need the Ethereum wallet address and I can transfer that token to anyone. In terms of limit order, it's pretty simple. Let's say I want to swap to DAI. Okay, so let's say I want us to. Okay, so let's say I want to swap my Ethereum to DAI. So I want to buy ETH or I want to sell ETH. Let's say I want to sell ETH. I want to sell my ETH when the price is very high. So to make more money, right? So I can sell. I want to sell it at when the price is 260, and I want to sell 50% of my ETH. So I can just click here and I can, this is too less. Okay, let me send. So I can just sell my ETH, right? So this is how the limit order works. I need to approve token. That's a little bit of technicality. I'm not gonna. Oh, see, our customer support has already replied. Okay. So yeah, so this is how you can use limit orders. Very simple. It's very simple. You just have to fill up like at what price you want to sell your token and how much you want to sell, and then you just set it. When the price reach, the swap will just happen. Just a quick question, right? So when I did my swap, I paid gas fees, which is around $4, very high at the moment.
Yes, very high.
If you want to save gas, there is nothing better than limit order, because in limit order we don't charge any gas fees to you. Instead, we charge you a 0. There's a very small fees that we charge you. So if you're doing a very small amount transaction, it makes financially benefit for you to to go for limit order. More than that, if you have, let's say in this wallet that I'm using, if I had 2000 KNC, I don't need to pay any fees. It's basically free swap. So you save like $4 straight away, right? Without doing anything. So that's why we have, if you hold 2000 KNC in your wallet, the limit order becomes free for you. Okay. So yeah, so this is what we did. We also launched a recent new feature, which we call portfolio. So you can click your any wallet to this, and we show you all the transaction that you have done in the past and how the total money in your amount in your wallet has been changing. So for example, this is how it has been from my last 1 month. The token that I have, I can straight away buy and sell from here also. This is money I have in Ethereum. This is how much I have in US dollar. So it's pretty good. It's pretty, like, people like it a lot. They want to see what I have done with my wallet so far. Like, as you can see, this can be overwhelming for a lot of users. So we made a very simple portfolio analysis screen for you. Super simple. Here, if you want to buy, if I want to buy Ethereum using credit card, this is how you can do it. So yeah, so this is in a nutshell that I have done. Let me see my ranking. So if I go here, I must be, okay, so here I am. I am right now on the 97th rank. I have already make sure that I'm gonna win some money. How much I'm gonna win, I can just see here, term and condition reward. So first 3 people will get this much. $1,800 is the first prize, pretty high. 1,000 is the next one. 600 is the third prize. Then the next 47 will win around $50. Next 50 will win $35. So as you can see, I am here.
Okay.
I just won $35, Okay, and how much money
Wow.
I spent, right? I just spent $4. It's a win-win, right, guys? Just do it. I mean, it's a free money in a way. So yeah, so this is, I have already secure, right? And the last, like, if like we have total 300 people, and then the last price is $11. So still a win-win situation. Okay, I'm gonna hit back. So this is what I have explained to you. And now we don't need to demo the video. So if you want to download our app, this is the QR code. You can just download, scan this QR code. We are both on iOS and Android. Just a note that on our iOS app is still in the process of approval, so you have to probably use test flight. There is a Medium blog post for that. You just have to search it. You will find a step-by-step tutorial on how to download the app on iOS. Android is approved. You can scan. You straight away go to Play Store to download it. Just to tell you, like, how big is Kyber Swap, which is been using Kyber Network. These are some of the stats for last 6 months. We have more than 60,000 users have used Kyber Swap. It's safe, it's secure. People are using it. We have traded more than 1 million of Ethereum. The top, like, people use Kyber Swap to trade a lot of stable coins. I think when, let's say, nowadays Ethereum is pretty high, so they want to sell it to stable coin. When Ethereum goes down a little bit, they want to buy back, so they use it a lot. But we have recently started to see a lot of other token like UBT, PBTC, WBTC are getting traded a lot as well. In terms of mobile app, our focus on mobile app is because we have a lot of users. We have more than 50,000 people downloaded our app. Okay, our rating on the Play Store is 4.6. More than 1,000 people have rated us, so it's a pretty good average to look at. I mean, every new thing that we have, let's say this PBTC campaign, all the communication we will do, we are pretty active on Twitter. So if you follow us on Twitter, you're gonna keep update, like PBTC campaign, right? We do have this kind of campaign almost every month. So follow us on Twitter. You can, you will get to know when the new campaign is coming. You can win rewards. We also have a lot of campaign on Twitter itself, so you can basically win more money, and also you can get to, like, latest things that are happening with Kyber Swap. So yeah, this was
All right, cool.
okay.
Let's do a quick takeaway. Thank you so much for the demonstration. Okay, so again, correct us if we're wrong. Okay, but I think this is the best way, okay, to learn together. All right, is to recap what we have learned. So you demonstrated to us one of the products that Kyber Network has developed, which is a decentralized exchange called Kyber Swap. The difference between what Kyber Swap does compared to traditional exchanges is that, number one, you do not need to deposit money into the exchange. You don't need to, like, for example, if I wanted to, I need to send money into it. So I remove one risk. The money remains in my wallet, and the swap happens within the wallet. So the wallet communicates with the smart contract, executes, and then I exchange my tokens that is in my wallet with another token, okay, through the Kyber Swap platform. Is that correct? Sunny, is that correct?
He said yes. Sonia, I think you're on mute.
Sunny? Bo? Is that correct?
Give him a sec. I think
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sunny, are you there?
Sorry guys. So my laptop suddenly went out of power.
Sorry, it's fine. It happens. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just doing a quick recap. So I think the number one, okay, thing that we took away from the demo is that especially to some beginners who never experienced exchanging digital assets from a wallet in itself, this can be quite new to some people. But I think that is probably one of the biggest takeaways, is that the difference between Kyber Swap compared to going to a money changer is that it happens within the wallet itself. Imagine that you don't have to go to a money changer you don't need to do traveling, to the money changer, etc., etc. You can actually swap the kind of digital token that you want within the wallet itself.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. The fees are much lower compared to traditional exchanges. But can you share with us, okay, what are exactly are the fees, okay, that people would incur, all right, by doing an instant swap on Kyber?
Okay, so in terms of, so we don't have any external fees. So the swap are basically free, but keep in mind the user has to pay the gas fees, which goes to the miner.
Right.
So
Okay.
and that gas fees, right? So Kyber Swap doesn't take any cut. So the basic service is free. So but the gas fees, so for example, right? So we almost so just now, right, when I showed you the demonstration, right, I used so gas fees depend upon the price of the gas, depend upon the network congestion. So right
Right.
now, as you said, right, the network is very
Very
congested.
congested, yes.
So that's why I paid almost like $4. In a normal world, right, when I
Yeah.
do my swap, right, I pay less than or like around $1.
Mhm.
And that is irrelevant of the amount, right? So if you are swapping $10 or you're swapping, let's say, $20,000, it's
Right.
gonna cost you the same.
Yes.
That's the beauty of like the decentralized world, right? So if
Got
you
it.
compare that to centralized exchange, let's say, they take like 0.1% of the transaction amount. The higher the amount, you pay more money, right?
Mm.
So you end up paying $20 if you're swapping $20,000 on a centralized exchange. But if you go to decentralized, right, you only pay $1 that goes to miner.
For those who are actually listening in right now, I just want to reiterate how important, okay, it is, especially if you're a beginner, that the gas fees that we're seeing right now is abnormally high. It isn't usually like that. Okay, so the if even if you're like wanting to claim your proof of attendance token, we suggest that you just paste your Ethereum address, book it first, but pay the gas fees later when it comes down, because right now it is just abnormally high. The network is just really congested, and the reason why the gas fees are so high is because a lot of the people who are incentivized to basically pay higher fees so that they can get their thing too. That's what's happening right now. Moving on, right? So Kyber, okay, has one of the more, how do I say, more beautiful, okay, user interfaces. I really like it as well. Something that I learned new today is that Kyber Swap has a live chat support.
Yeah.
That's very useful. Like a traditional exchange, Kyber Swap also offers you the ability to set a limit order. Now, can you clarify a little bit, right? When we use Kyber Swap, okay, to set a limit order, there is a fee. Is that correct?
Yes, there is a fees, right? And that is so there like we did like two tiers, right? So let
Right.
me take it as like, so the one, right, let's say is 0.1% of the transaction amount. Okay.
Mm.
Now how it is beneficial for you, right? So last I remember, right, don't like quote me on this one. If you are swapping 4.5 ether and below, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like less than $1,000, it you actually end up paying less fees as a limit order than compared to gas.
Mm.
Same money. And let's say, for example, when I use limit order a lot from my main wallet. So what I
Mm-hmm.
have done is that I bought 2000 KNC, I keep it in my wallet. So all my limit orders are free. So basically I don't pay anything. Okay.
Mm.
So this is normally that's what I do. So if you have 2000 KNC, you get 10 limit orders a day. I mean, most of the user I found like they don't do more than 10 limit orders a day. So that's pretty high. So for if you have 2000 KNC in your wallet, you basically get 10 limit order per day free, which is like enough, at least for me, as I can see, and a lot of users based on the data that we have. And that is why a lot of if you see, right, a lot of our mobile users have been like recently doing a lot of limit order, especially when the gas fees is very high. We see a very
Yeah,
huge uptick in the limit order usage.
got it. Got it. Okay, this is like super interesting, and I think that this is like really useful tips. Okay, for us who are using Kyber for the first time. It also is a very good case study to me. Okay, that Kyber has its own native token, and just like any other project, uh, the token has value when it is useful. So one of the things that you have brought to our attention right now is that if you own 2,000 KNC tokens, these are the benefits that you get as a token holder. Is that correct?
Yes.
There's a question, okay, that I think is timely to answer right now. Somebody actually asked the question that if you are a KNC token holder, what else can you do? What kind of decisions can you participate in? Can somebody answer that? Take up that question. What can we vote on? Is Catherine Ng from the YouTube channels?
Yeah, I can take this. So what Sunny described about the 2000 KNC being used on Kyber Swap, this is Kyber Swap specific. It's not a native use case for the protocol, but from our earlier slides where we talk about the Kyber DAO, the KNC's main use case moving forward very soon would be as a governance token, where you stick on the Kyber DAO and you gain the rights to vote on certain decisions and proposals. So some examples, as you can see from the video I shared earlier, is deciding what percentage of the trade value goes towards network fees, and following which, what percentage of the network fees goes towards incentivizing more liquidity providers to the network, incentivizing people to stake KNC, to vote on proposals, and what percentage gets burned as part of our deflationary mechanism. So that's one example. Other examples that they can vote on could be certain technical upgrades. For example, gas is rare high at this point in time, and before Ethereum 2.0 comes along, we might need to think of other solutions to mitigate these high gas fees. And one interesting approach would be to use gas tokens. So how it works is basically when the prices are low, you pay a little bit more to purchase these gas tokens.
Right.
When the prices are high, you can use these gas tokens to offset the fees for a discount. So in general, it kind of average out the gas prices.
It gives stability to the gas fees, yeah.
Yeah, so that is one interesting approach that we have seen some projects use. We are considering it, and we might put it up for a vote, right? Like for KNC holders, because this has definitely, when you introduce a new tech like that, there are trade-offs in any situation. So
Like all
we want
decisions.
to discuss it with the community, all the trade-offs, and make sure that when they decide to vote on something, they are aware of the trade-offs. And it's not like a Kyber team trying to impose something on you.
Exactly. So this is precisely, I think, is another interesting example, useful example for those who are new to DeFi. DeFi is consists of using digital assets like cryptocurrencies, but done in a way that it's all the structures are decentralized. So when you look at Kyber is not a company. Kyber is a decentralized entity, and right now the way that Kyber functions is through the Kyber DAO. Is that correct?
Yes, not currently, but very soon.
Right.
Yeah, in about a month's time.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Kyber DAO will be launched together with our protocol upgrade catalyst. Yeah, and the protocol itself is permissionless and free for anyone to use. So any developer that wants to build a dApp that connects to Kyber Network, they can just go to our documentation, and yeah, they don't even need our help if they are technically savvy, and they can actually integrate Kyber into their applications. For Kyber Swap, we just wanted to make a clear distinction that it's a separate entity altogether. So Kyber Swap is a dApp on itself, among the many hundreds of different dApps that are using Kyber. And Kyber Swap is using Kyber's technology, but it might use other technology for its own other use cases. So Kyber Network, the protocol, and Kyber Swap, the dApp. Yeah, just wanted to highlight that.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience? Okay, because we still have about like 10 minutes, and before we go into full mode AMA, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience? Okay, to look forward into to Kyber, like what is currently Kyber's next milestones? Like what does success look like for Kyber in the next 6 months?
So we are very happy with our recent milestones already. For example, we have facilitated $1 billion US dollars worth of on-chain transactions. I think this is one of the most, if not the most amount of transactions done fully on the Ethereum blockchain. So we have done it since inception in around early 2018. And this is a big milestone for us, and we want to continue increasing the volume that we are facilitating for the network. And apart from the Catalyst upgrade, which is all of us are all hands on deck trying to focus on shipping the Catalyst upgrade and the Kyber DAO, where users can KNC holders can look forward to just buying KNC, staking KNC on the DAO, and voting on proposals, making an active contribution towards the success of the network and getting rewarded in the process. We don't know the exact ROI. You can use our different parameters to estimate, but we believe that it will be very competitive to the current lending ROIs at the moment. So we think that is something very exciting for KNC holders to look forward to. Beyond that, and something that we are already preparing for, but less of a priority until Catalyst is over, is to really enhance liquidity in the DeFi space by working with as many professional market makers as possible. So like I mentioned earlier, the easiest way for people to contribute liquidity right now are through what we call automated market makers, automated pools. Just deposit there, the algorithm sets the price for you, and people buy and sell, and the market make from there. But there's a very little flexibility or customization involved, and professionals cannot use the AMM style of liquidity provision in order to make more profits. Certain opportunities are lost because they do not have that customized. It's not customizable. They don't have the flexibility. So what we want to do is to provide infrastructure and the tools to allow these professional market makers to onboard into DeFi. And when that happens, we believe a lot of liquidity will come once they realize that.
Who are these people? So here's the thing, okay? Right now we have an opportunity. Today we have about like over 100 people, okay, coming from different parts of Southeast Asia, tuning in. And I'm pretty sure some of them, okay, are not familiar. They're traditional finance people looking into this. Who are these people who are the lowest hanging fruit, who is able to come in, okay? What were they doing before? And that would make them, okay, transition much easily, okay, to become a professional market maker and consider this this as an alternative way of complementing their careers.
So, like you said, like people who have a traditional financial background, they are more, I would say, in tune with how market making work off-chain, like not even using blockchain technology. So market making typically involves arbitraging, so arbitrage bots, hedging your positions, managing risks. This applies to both blockchain and off-chain or on-chain market making. But on-chain market making obviously has its own host of challenges because it's using new innovative technology, and there are a lot of experimental costs involved. They need to take some time to learn, firstly, what is blockchain and how it works, how smart contract works. These market makers, previously, they might need developers that work on traditional fintech software, but now they need developers that understand solidity, maybe, and at least basic level solidity and smart contracts. I would say market makers that have been used to trading on centralized exchanges. These could be the ones that could be very interested in market making on chain, because currently in the centralized exchange space, it's very competitive. There are tons of centralized exchanges there competing on the same set of liquidity and trying to market make for a very, very small margin, but they depend on volume, of course. For on-chain market making, the space right now is ripe for more of these liquidity providers to come in, because the margin you can get is bigger, and there are not so many competitors out here because it's very difficult, right? And Kyber wants to make it easier. So I'm not sure whether you've heard of these companies, but some of the professional market makers that are market making on Kyber right now, those that are willing for their name to be shared, is like One Bitcoin and Wotan. I think previously Crypto, but these are more companies that are focused on crypto market making. Recently, Kyber joined the Chicago DeFi Alliance. So this is a new initiative from some of the top companies in the traditional market making and proprietary trading space. For example, Chicago Merchant Trading Digital, they have a digital arm. They are part of this alliance. Jump Capital, one of the like biggest market makers in the space. Genesis Trading, I think they have an arm for market making as well, and they recently were in the news for having like the purchasing most of the Bitcoin that were mined in the last few months or something. So a lot of these big names, TD America Trade as well, is inside. And so a lot of these big names are coming together to research and learn about how to market make on chain in the DeFi space. So the traditional market makers are starting to be very interested in on-chain market making, but there is not one single infrastructure where they can come on board to really, get the hang of and learn and experiment on how to market make. And we think that Kyber is well positioned to provide that infrastructure and that framework for them to come in. And so that is something that is very, very important to us, and it will be a big focus post Catalyst. And we are already preparing for that. Even after Catalyst, there are more exciting things to look forward to for KNC holders and for Kyber community members.
Got it. So it's really, really interesting. So what we now know right now, okay, is that you are saying that there is a demand for professional market makers to do on-chain market making. And it's really, really timely right now because the awareness is low, demand is there, margins are higher, okay? And if somebody actually fits the bill, where's the first place that they go to? Do they what do they do? Do they contact you?
Oh, yeah, they can just reach us on our Discord or Telegram channels.
Discord and Telegram channels.
I mean, of course, now we are very focused on shipping Catalyst and Kyber DAO, but we definitely will carve out time to guide anybody that fits the bill. You obviously have to be motivated, and because there needs to be certain resources invested in order to, for example, you need to have some development knowledge, technical skills in order to set up the reserve. And you need to understand the basics of market making. But I mean, these are our target audiences anyway. So just reach out to us. We'll be really willing to help you. And yeah, we're very excited to work on that together.
Okay, I want to be a little bit selfish here, okay, because I got one question I want to ask, which is, so you know that, okay, if we can wrap, okay, like for example, if we can wrap Bitcoin, if we can wrap any kind of digital asset, and so that we can have access to DeFi, right? Is it possible in the near future? When I say near, I mean like in the next 0 to 5 years, that when central bank digital currencies get introduced, is it likely, okay, that those, okay, can also be integrated, and then people basically are able to swap fiat-based tokens with say Ethereum or DAI using Kyber? Is it possible in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, I believe in the long run, a lot of things in the world are going to be tokenized. and there will be some kind of digital form for that because it's just much more efficient and transparent. I don't know about country-specific digital fiat currencies per se, but technically, if you're going by the WBTC custodial model, anything can be wrapped in the ERC20 standard. You can just lock it up with a trusted custodian or even a DAO of custodians, so like BitGo and maybe other custodians working together to custody certain assets, and an ERC20 version of that gets minted. Or in the future, when more decentralized technologies become more mature, like how REN is doing for Zcash and Bitcoin already, and PBDC has its own, and TBDC also has its own set of technologies for decentralizing the minting and the storing of Bitcoin based assets. I think over time, yeah, there's definitely, I do see a possibility of so-called a derivative of the country's fiat currency, digital fiat currency being used on Ethereum. And there's another project I wanted to highlight also that is, two projects actually that are trying to adopt that approach, Synthetics and UMA protocol. They are working with derivative of whatever assets they are trying to peg to. So they could have a synthetic version of gold. You can have a synthetic version of Bitcoin. You can have a synthetic version of China's digital fiat currency, perhaps in the future, and trade it on the Ethereum blockchain through their exchanges. So there are a lot of innovative experimentation going on right now. I do see that as a possibility. But if you're going by the custodial model, if you have enough inventory, you can even do it right now. If Jason, you want to create your own JSON coin on your own blockchain.
No, no.
Yeah. You can wrap it in an ERC20 version.
Don't create something that doesn't exist yet.
As an
Anyways,
example,
what's that?
hypothetically.
You mentioned a couple of projects throughout this entire session, which has been very interesting, and I know a couple of friends who are like huge fans of. One of them is Synthetics. Another one is Uniswap. I think that this is you have just basically set up that we need to have another DeFi week in order to cover all the various other types of projects that are developing something useful in the space. Let's take more questions from the audience. Why did Kyber choose to give staking rewards in Ether rather than in KNC?
Well, I think a primary motivation for even starting the Kyber DAO is, like I mentioned, to empower the Kyber community as well as the wider DeFi community to have a say in the governance of the project. And since Kyber's protocol right now is primarily on the Ethereum blockchain, to us it makes sense that that the people that benefit from staking rewards and for governing the most used and most integrated liquidity protocol on the Ethereum get rewarded in Ether, right? The native currency of the underlying blockchain that we are built on. And with Ether, they are able to use it either to buy more KNC to stake it for more Ether, or they can use it for the whole variety of decentralized applications that Kyber supports. So it's very versatile, it's very flexible. Ether is money in a sense in the Ethereum ecosystem. And you can hold it as a store of value. So to us, Ether makes the most sense. And from a technical perspective, it's also much more efficient because the network fee that is collected is in Ether as well.
Yeah.
So everything kind of fits very nicely, having Ether as the reward for stakers.
We have another question. What happens if I select the low fee option? So someone decides to do a swap, use the instant swap function, selects the low fee option. It doesn't get processed because Ethereum only can handle 1.2 million transactions a day. When is the cutoff time? When it or does it never cut off? It just executes when it does.
Yeah, when the network is very congested, like today, but I think today's not the worst of it. Sometimes when there are games like XE or Crypto Kitties that are very popular. They might clog the network sometimes, and the gas fees might be very high in order to go through, for the transaction to go through. So a slow transaction could take anywhere between 1 hour to even days. So I've had transactions that I forgot about. I thought it went through, but actually, 3 days later, I tried to use the wallet again, and it's still pending because I set very low fees. I mean, there's no exact time, right? It's when the miners decide to mine that block, it will go through. You can nowadays there are ways to actually cancel the transaction. I won't go into the technical details of that, but basically you send a transaction to yourself.
Transaction,
yeah,
yes.
that is. It's not 100%. It doesn't 100% work, but basically you send a transaction yourself with 0 ETH, and and you're able to kind of cancel it at a higher gas fee though. So in order to cancel it, and we know that like before ETH 2.0 is live, we know that being fully on chain will subject us to such issues when the network is congested. But it's a trade-off, right? We have a fully transparent and verifiable trade on the Ethereum blockchain, where the price you see is the price you get. It's fully secure based on security of Ethereum. But when the network is congested, prices are high, it might be slow. But we are always looking at other kind of technology to see in the future if we can implement them on Kyber Swap. For example, Loopring has an interesting ZK rollup implementation. Synthetics recently experimented with optimistic rollups. So Kyber is regularly keeping updated on all these different technologies, and we are in our own research department. We are looking at them and seeing if any of that makes sense. Kyber is also part of the Zcash Developer Alliance, and we want to be at the forefront of research, even if we don't implement the technologies right away.
All right. Okay. We have 5 minutes to time. I'd like to thank our 3 speakers, Shane, Bo, and Sunny, for taking the last 2 hours to explain to us Kyber. So just to quickly recap, today we have basically gone through how Kyber, one of the DeFi players, the major DeFi players in the space, definitely one of the major ones. 1 billion transactions is definitely a milestone. Solves an important part, which is the liquidity problem. And what it basically does, it allows people to do things like swap. By solving the liquidity problem, it allows people to swap for tokens on demand, through and get the best prices in a very efficient manner. And as more and more you do it, this is one of the beautiful things about what Kyber does. Another thing is that if you are developing an app, you can integrate with Kyber so that you can provide to your users the ability to swap from one token to another within the app. Another thing that there's just so many things. There's participating in the DAO. You covered that. You also covered a product demo on Kyber Swap itself, and there's also an ongoing campaign going on with PBTC, which I personally am going to do after this as well. So thank you so much for spending the time with us to share. Tomorrow is going to be even more interesting. We're going to shift gear, and we're going to be we have someone very special who is the co-founder of Melon Protocol, who is going to show us how fund management can work in the decentralized finance space. How is it different right now this time? So tomorrow is going to be really interesting. Do come back 3 p.m. tomorrow, same time, same place. If you are interested to have a comprehensive understanding of what DeFi is in the shortest amount of time, there are a few resources that you can choose to get immediately. One of them is CoinGecko's How to DeFi book. It's only $15. Scan the QR code. It's an ebook. You can immediately start reading it, and it's really, really comprehensive. So you can this is one of the best resources available. If you're looking to make a career out of this, and you want to be an expert in decentralized finance, Ivan on Tech has a DeFi 101 workshop that you can enroll for as low as 22, based on a subscription model, $22 per month. This is when you pay annually, and then they have different packages as well. Scan the QR code, and you can also participate in this DeFi workshop. This one is definitely more in depth and suitable for those who are looking to make a career in DeFi. If you are a beginner in cryptocurrency and what you need, okay, is you need to feel confident. There's a lot of things, okay, that you are still uncertain about. You feel scared and you want to feel confident. This is for you. This is a one-day online workshop for cryptocurrency beginners where we teach you things like, why does crypto have value in the first place? Why is all this even possible? Because when you attend this Southeast Asia DeFi week, it's kind of like leapfrogging. But if you want really, really strong fundamentals so that you can know with certainty why all these things matters, this is the workshop for you. Divided into 4 sessions, is happening 2 weeks, the following weekend, 2 weeks from now, on 13th of June. If you like to do this for Southeast Asia DeFi Week, we're giving a 50% discount off right now. Scan the QR code to get this discounted ticket to come for this one-day workshop. For those who want, okay, like a little, how do I say, just basic, really, really basic understanding, we do this weekly. It's Bitcoin for beginners every Wednesday. We do it actually once a week, but tomorrow is special. We're doing it once in the morning and once in the evening. So you can register for the 11 a.m. one and register for 9 p.m. one, and learn what started everything in the first place, which is Bitcoin. Okay, so today concludes day number 2 of Southeast Asia Week. Scan the QR code or type in, okay, open a new tab, type in bit.ly/Kyber_June02 to claim your, fill in the form. Give us your feedback so that, okay, you can claim your day 2 proof of attendance token. Now remember, because the network is congested, right now what we recommend you guys to do is that set up your wallet, copy paste the Ethereum wallet address into the links that we are going to provide to you, and you can pay the gas fees later. So you book your token, and then when the gas fees come down to what is considered normal, and I would say that between like 10 cents, okay, 10 cents, 5 cents, that's normal, okay, when it's like really, really negligible, then you make the transaction, because these are non-critical. Right now what you're doing is that if you force paying a high gas fee right now, you're basically competing with those people who are really highly incentivized to get their transactions through, and it's you don't have to do that. Okay, so let us know, okay, your feedback. We hope that you have gained a lot of value. We hope that you will share, okay, with your friends. There's still 3 more days to learn about DeFi. Please come back tomorrow. And once again, thank you very much. Join me to go and thank, okay, Shane, Bo, and Sunny, okay, for being with us here today. All right, see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Bitcoin Malaysia. Thank you, Jason, for moderating, and for all the other sponsors and media partners. Very professionally done talk today, and we hope everybody learned something today. Thank you.
All right. Okay, stay safe and have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. You're the life of the party, I guess. You crave all that attention. Where is everyone when it all ends? Always seems to be the question. I know you like to show it up. It's okay if it's it's fine, but it's not. Cause you talk about yourself too much, and people go away, they're not insane. As you think, oh no, I walk away, but I ain't losing. Oh no, I'm tired of people trying to fool me. Cause I learned the price of love. Don't give away any more that easily. I just wanna level up. Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. Here you are, you got so much to say. They want me to pay attention, but never ask me if I wanna stay. Word after word, I feel the rising tension, but you wanna open up. Oh, it's okay if it's fun, but it's not. Cause I don't really wanna talk. No wonder why you're alone. I let you to go. Oh no, I walk away, but I ain't losing. Oh no, I'm tired of people trying to fool me. Cause I learned the price of love. Don't give away any more that easily. I just wanna level up. Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. Cause I'm stronger than I was, not the strongest that I can be. You're